and welcome back to the Conscious Collective. I'm sitting here with Lucy today, and we've got another wonderful topic to dive into this week. We are going to be talking about Chobham and Gridwork. And do you want to share a little bit about how this came into fruition?
Yeah, it just makes me giggle because
Drop the acorn.
So
it was
playful
unexpected.
and fun. Yeah, and a lot of what Emily and I are doing at the moment is really in that energy of play. It's co-creation in the energy and the frequency of play, big time. So it's making us giggle because it's just quite miraculous, isn't it? How things have come about.
A really cute dragon that's really playful as my screensaver, because that's how I want to. That's why I want to exude all the time.
Yeah, and
sorry
you
to
do.
Interrupt you.
You do. Yeah, that's the frequency. That's the energy. So sorry, I was having a giggle because it's just so incredible how this has come about, but actually really important work. Yeah. And it's amazing work, and it is our soul purpose work, so it's also beautifully aligned. So how this came about, and so basically what we're doing is we're holding space for however many beautiful light workers wish to gather with us, and we're doing similar type of work to the grid work that we do at Avebury, and we never thought that we would be doing it as locally as Chobham. We're sort of Weybridge, Thorpe area. And so it's how on earth did we find ourselves doing this work there? And how it came about was that Emily and I don't get together in person very much. We do when we do our podcast recording, but really we are just communicating on our little voice notes, which we've shared with you guys before.
And sometimes in the quantum realm too.
Sometimes in the quantum realm. Well, always in the quantum realm.
Of course.
Always in the quantum. Always telepathically. So anyway, so we, but it is rare to actually sort of have that free time and that freedom to go, let's meet up for a walk. Okay. And so
just chat.
And just
not work.
Have some time off and not be channeling, not be doing any of this, to just go and ground. Honestly, that was, I think, your intention.
I needed the woods to come and heal me. I was frazzled.
Yeah.
It was a Friday afternoon.
It was a Friday afternoon. And so Emily just felt called, didn't you, to invite me. Just, are you free? And you've done that before in the past, and I haven't been free, and we know we haven't met up, but I happened to be free. And I was like, oh, yes, just instantly big yes, and we always feel our yeses very strongly, don't we? And so it was like a big, strong, oh yeah, I'm going to the woods with Emily. Yes. One of those big yeses. And so jumped in the car, really high spirited, but expecting a walk in the woods. And very kind
cute.
Emily.
It was so cute. Keeping in mind, this is one of my favorite places in the whole entire world, and saved me during lockdown.
And I've never ever been there, didn't know it existed. And Emily very kindly thought of me and said, do you want to go somewhere with water? Water priestess says yes.
So sorry to pause. It was actually a little bit, I think we did actually know that it could be a little preamble to our Wales trip.
Oh, we did for the Wales, yeah.
Yeah,
we
because
did.
I was like, I need forest and water. So there was a little bit of that, but that was the side note. The note was that I needed to be in nature immediately. And if I could get Lucy around, even better. And then my favorite place, it was just, you know, perfect dessert.
It was. I mean, that was perfect enough, right?
Yeah.
But then, so what do you want to launch into next? The questions that we have, or the actual what happened?
Well, yeah, let's see if we get to the questions.
Let's talk about what actually happened.
We get so excited, and I've brought her to this little car park because during lockdown the car parks were closed. So normally I would have met around the corner, my walking buddies, when we were allowed to walk, what was it? 4 fridges away from each other, or 2 couches. Wonderful suggestions of distance. And so not only is the car park circular, we kind of got out and danced because it was like a little vortex. Silly. And then, we're walking, and Lucy, before we even get anywhere.
Talk about the moss.
Yes, yeah. I thought it was this leaf glimmering, and then it drew us to moss. And then it was just like, was like, oh, we might not get to my favourite spot. And it was just so beautiful.
So silly,
and
but
we
lovely.
Went to the water. I'll kind of pass it over because I don't know if there's bits you want to share, so I don't want to fast forward.
No, it was lovely. Well, we kind of just meandered around in a bit of a la-la land. And this is the thing, we're in another dimensional frequency because we are so high vibrational. And, our intention is always to connect with the other frequencies. We're very open to those frequencies. Without even sort of declaring it, that, we're just so used to walking in nature in a sort of more connected way. And so we're instantly connecting in another way, in another dimension too. And so we're, people would look at us and think that we were high. I think that's probably, honestly, if other people saw us, they would be like, what is she doing? Because I'm just sitting talking to moss. Not talking to it, but, really just loving it, getting very excited.
But I know there's others of you that share our passion.
Yes, there are, of course. So many of you that we've met that love moss like we do. And so anyway, so it was like that. I mean, it was a beautiful day. The sun was glimmering through the leaves. It was beautiful. And so that was our intention really, was to just go in that energy and enjoy the nature. And really connect to nature and ground. So there we were doing that, but at the same time sharing many, many stories of things that have been going on for us and what have you. So we're sharing all of those stories. And then, but Emily, I recall you saying, because I thought we got to some water and we were just like literally lapping up the water frequencies. It was really beautiful, wasn't it?
Because you're definitely more connected with the water.
Love the water.
And I'm more connected with the wood at the moment. I'm sure that will switch and change maybe. Who knows?
This is how we're feeling it right now.
Yeah, definitely.
But that doesn't mean to say that you don't connect with water, because of course you can, and you do.
I just haven't experimented with it as much yet.
And I do think it's to do with the remembering and what you're meant to remember and when you're meant to remember it. And I think that was just one of the first things that I was meant to remember. And even though it's kind of been with me for a long time, but I'm still only really just embedding and embodying that.
That's why this was a little practice, wasn't it?
And that's what we thought. And it was funny that M shared, she was like, I feel like you're going to want to go somewhere with water. I was like, yes, please, water. So anyway, so there we were, sort of just connecting. And then I thought we were looping back round and we were finished. And Emily was like, oh no. And I want you to share, because you had this idea of where we were going. So I'm going to go over to Emily to explain what was going on.
So it must have taken about 7-8 minutes, maybe 10, 15. I don't know. We were actually very mindful in this walk. It wasn't a walk. And we kind of lapped around and there was a bench and Lucy was like, oh, how perfect. There's a bench and we can talk and discuss. Right, yeah. I was like, oh no, this is a drop. There's so much more I've got to take you. I've got to take you to my favorite place, which is further down the road. And so there was an interesting path that we walked through, didn't we? It was really lovely, saw lots of different things. And then I took you to the clearing that I've said to many people, this is where I want to hold space. And I was like, okay. And we were coming in at it from a different angle than I would normally walk in. So I knew Lucy had to get to a certain point and then turn around and then take in all of this. So I was like, don't turn around, keep walking. And then hopefully you're up to speed. And then you turn around and you go, oh, it
was beautiful.
Do you remember what you said?
No, what did I say?
You're like, this is so Arcturian. It's a triangle. And I was like,
not a surprise that this one.
Oh my goodness, of course it's Arcturian.
It's Arcturian, yeah. It's amazing.
And then, so we were taking in that gorgeous space. And then Lucy looked over to the left and was like, oh my goodness, is there a tunnel under there? And when I looked later on that evening, it's a long barrow that we'd seen. And that long barrow had always been drawn to go over into that bit of the woods. I mean, possibly just because there was a fence there that stopped me from going, that might...
Rebel.
But the fact that I've been so drawn and I just wanted to hold women's circles there and just do so many different events there. And there's a long barrow.
Amazing.
Right next to it. I mean, but on the way there, we went through this path and Lucy saw a vortex, like a circle of trees.
Well, we were kind of following a path that wasn't a path. Do you remember this? So we were following a path to begin with, and then there was no path.
Yeah, I do.
Because it was boggy.
Yeah.
And we were like, why did we carry on? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why we carried on. We were meant to carry on.
We were meant to carry on. And then you
bizarre.
saw it and you said, oh, this reminds me of ones that you've gone through. And I've said, oh, I've always wanted to go to the center of this circle, but it is boggy and the ground's uneven. And there's never been a path in. Well,
we made one.
I then opened my eyes straight in front of me and there was a path.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we know what has to happen next. So
it was amazing. It was amazing.
We
we were in another sort of dimensional connection place there. And I think that's what's important to speak to everybody, because I've been guided on these paths like this before. And so has Emily. Independently. We have done these mindful walks where we are connected to our guides at the same time on our own, and we've followed their guidance, and they've drawn us down certain paths. So we've been doing that for quite a while, haven't we, independently, without kind of realizing it, but yes, then realizing it. So we've now then come together going on a nature walk, but we are doing what we've done independently, which is allowing ourselves to be led and drawn to particular places, almost like, what's the dowsing, like a dowsing rod,
Well, that's exactly what it is.
It's kind of, that's how it feels.
Yeah,
it is. It's like, there's a path.
Yeah.
And I remember us having that pause moment and saying, and you were like, no, there isn't normally a path here. And I went, but we're going down it.
Yeah.
And she was like, yes, we are.
Yeah.
And so that was when we went. And then there was a path, and then the path completely disappeared.
Yeah.
So what had created that path, I don't know. It's really bizarre. It always feels very other dimensional when we're doing this kind of work.
Yeah, destined in a way.
And it's very,
Because my girlfriends I go on those walks with would have definitely followed me down that path.
Yeah.
Had it appeared.
And it wasn't there before. So it's bizarre. So this little path appeared, and then it fell off. And we were just at that point where we couldn't go any further, really, because we didn't need to. We had arrived.
Yeah, that was the point.
We'd arrived. And we looked up and looked around, and we were talking as we were walking. So I don't think we were really even knowing what we were doing at all at that point.
Well, we were looking down at the ground.
We were looking down because we couldn't walk.
You already had a soggy wet foot. You poor thing.
But then I looked up, and there were trees aligning this huge space, and I then just received, as I do, you're in a portal, you need to connect. And so I was like, okay. And luckily I'm with Emily, and I say, Emily, we're in a portal. She's like, oh yes, we are, because she recognized it straight away. And I said, yeah, there's the Galactic Council here. They want to connect. And so I just opened up to them and just started doing what we call Gridwork, which is what we are doing, a big part of our purpose, along with so many other things, but it is a big part of our purpose. And I've been going off independently, co-creating and working with the council and other really very high vibrational beings, only ever high vibrational energies, doing this work. So I know how to just open up and bring them through and start doing the work. And so we did, and it was incredible. They had me opening up this portal, reactivating the energies, and then bringing some very, very beautiful high vibrational energies through down into the grids through this opened portal. So it felt really, really good. And then a representative from the Galactic Council came through that was a Pleiadian guide, and she stepped forward. I'm just listening at this point because we had no expectations of doing anything, let alone receiving anything for ourselves. And she starts giving us these activations, and we're literally receiving energy, receiving downloads, whatever you want to call it. I would say more DNA activations, receiving, which felt amazing. We could really feel it in our bodies. And then this Pleiadian stepped forward to stand in front of Emily and activate her third eye, do some work on her third eye, which let's just throw over to Emily to say how that felt and how you experienced that, Em.
I think I was in shock.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It was so unexpected, wasn't it?
Such a high frequency, and I'm just facing this gorgeous sun that's decided to come out now, right? The sun came out.
Wasn't there before.
It wasn't, and it went afterwards as well. And Lucy's just describing what's happening to me, and I'm just in a kind of a euphoric state, I guess, and just not seeing it. I didn't experience it the way that you did, but it was later when I was integrating it, and then I could. I saw her. I did see her, but later when I did some third eye investigation, she kind of came through in these bluish geometric shapes, and then her face formed through so many complex geometric shapes. I said, Lucy, does your third eye open like a tunnel like that? It was really interesting, and I still probably haven't embodied half of what she's upgraded and activated, and you know, within that dormant DNA. And then I sort of cleaned some crystals on my pineal gland. I mean, it was just
all kinds of stuff.
It was phenomenal.
So amazing to receive. And it's all I would say is you know without a doubt that something is happening. So anyone who's come to our Avebury events, there's no doubting it. There's no skepticism. You couldn't possibly. You feel so high vibrational, so different that it's like, it's hard to put into words, actually.
It's high and zen.
It's high and very chilled.
Because you're coherent.
Yeah,
and amazing. You're able to pick up higher levels of frequency, which are in the going towards joy and, you know, peace,
higher
all of
end.
Those.
Because they're the codes that we're bringing through to the planet. So the whole experience feels blissful. That's the word that my guides use. It's bliss energies, bliss, because that's the work that we're doing. So none of this is with any you know, lower vibrational beings. You know, it's all pure love. You know, the Pleiadians, typical, because they're just so high vibrational. So all about bringing love to this planet and activating more of it into the grid. So, you know, these experiences are just incredible. So we were not expecting that. We thought we were going on a nature walk.
Yeah.
And ended up doing all of that, which was just mind-blowing. So much more to say on it. So many other experiences around it that we probably don't need to dive into any of that right now. But let's ask some questions
and see what comes out.
Yeah, definitely.
So the first question was, why Chobham? I guess we were guided.
We were guided there. Yeah, definitely not premeditated. We didn't think about it to do the work there, not at all. And I think it's just... sorry. It says, what are you sensing about the land's story or potential within the grid? I feel like it was a dormant node, are we calling them?
Yeah.
I think it was a dormant node. It's not as big as Avebury, you know, we're not talking about that. But it's interesting because we're starting to realise these nodes are, it's still quite big, bizarrely, just because it doesn't have megaliths.
Yeah, big rocks around it.
Doesn't mean it, instead it has trees.
Yeah.
As do the others that I've seen.
Different wisdom keepers, really.
It's interesting. It's so, you know, you just could go for a walk and you would just never know it was there. So interesting. But it is there in another dimension, I would say. It sort of, you can see it in another dimension because I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm not a massive seer. But I saw this grid. It was shown to me. It was revealed to me in like a grid-like fashion, as if you would, like an energetic grid. I could see it. It was like, it's hard to describe.
I think you're getting some activations. Your third eye is opening up too in that seeing sense, isn't it?
Definitely. I'm receiving a lot of activations from my guides at the moment. They come through and they activate new things all the time. And I don't often have time to sit down and really dive into what they are, like you with the Pleiadian. You haven't really sat and gone, what was that? You know, and how's that going to help me? A lot of the time, my guides just say to trust them, that it's going to help with this.
Sorry to that Pleiadian being for not sitting with her. Being so blessed.
But she didn't offer it up. It's always about just trust that it's in your highest good and it's going to fit into the work that you're doing. And to be fair, I'm happy leaving it like that. I love that because I think that's the adventurous side of me. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to see what comes from that. Because sometimes I think if you've got expectation, that causes a bit of resistance there. So I think that's why it happens that way. But who knows? So yes, what else?
So how do you prepare for this sort of earthwork?
Okay, so we didn't have much time to prepare for that because we didn't know we were going to do it. And I think this is why I've done a lot of work with my guides independently, as now I realize that was just like the practicing and the learning, and they were teaching me what to do and how to do the work. So now it feels like, you know, like riding a bike, how you just automatically kick into knowing how to do things. So there are things that I do in that situation that just happen kind of automatically because I've done them before. So I know how to do certain things. Does that make sense? There's certain protocols that I do. It's like when you're learning to work with energy in another way, like with a person, you know, there's certain protocols, certain ways of managing that energy and working with that energy. So there's certain things that I do to create that, to open up the portal, to connect with the right guides. I've got guardians who protect my Stargate, my stellar gateway. And so, you know, all of that has been in place for quite a long time now, so that I can, and I think that example happened for a reason, so that to give me confidence that when we do go to Egypt, when we go to Göbekli Tepe, when we go wherever else we're going across the planet to work with these portals, I have the confidence that I don't need to pre-prepare, that I'm going to know in that moment exactly what to do. So I hope that kind of answers the question.
No, it does.
I've done the work beforehand.
And I think it is such a specific topic that will be wonderful to unpick that in another episode. Because that you know, there's a book there. There could be a book there easily, you know, and
or a training course to teach other people how to do it, you know, because I've received that, and so have the other grid workers. You know, I'm sure our lovely people that we've met across the world who do this, they will know how to do it, and I bet they would describe it in exactly the same way, that they've been shown. And so then they just but then when you're doing it, it just happens like second nature, because you're dealing with other multidimensional beings and frequencies where everything is telepathic. It's all frequency. And so it's hard to kind of translate that back into what you're doing, because you're doing a lot very, 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 very quickly. Yeah,
that's right. So it's that quantum element. So what would you like to, what do you hope will happen when we bring people together in Chobham, common to do this grid work? Not the outcome, but the frequency.
What do I hope will happen?
In terms of frequency.
Yeah, I think it's more, I have like a bit of a vision for it, but I like the idea of it flowing really naturally like it did for us. Like, I don't necessarily want to go and replicate exactly this. I don't have that in me to hold the exact same thing. I think it will be very different. We've done that bit, we need to do something else. But it's more, I just will be focusing on holding that frequencies for others to resonate with, so that they can connect in the way that we do. That's our purpose, is to be there as these beacons of frequency at a particular level, so that they can resonate. Is that the word? Resonate, attune to our frequency. And then they will have their own experiences with their own guides, with nature on a deeper level. You know, they will have such a high vibrational blissful experience because they're in that frequency that we've worked on, you know, we've, without realizing it half the time, you know, we've worked on building our frequency up to be able to be these bridges, to help other people be bridges as well. I know that sounds really crazy, but it's true. You know, it's, how would you describe that?
Yeah, we're going to be helping them harmonize. And when you harmonize, you feel good. So I can just see people just really enjoying themselves, you know. I think there's going to be a lot of us. I think we're going to break into little groups as we just walk along and we start talking, because conversation just kind of unfolds when you're in nature, and it's just easy. And there will be that sense of being brought together kind of for the unknown, but it's going to be beautiful, and that it's not material at all. No. So I think it's going to be fun.
It's going to be so fun. And we do have some ideas because it came through. So unsurprisingly, as we continued. And we didn't know at the time of being in this experience that we would be bringing others there. We were just enjoying the experience, right? But we thought that what was being brought through may have some relation to what we would do in Wales, because we've got a trip to Wales coming up. So we definitely didn't think we were bringing people back to Chobham until afterwards, and we were discussing it. We were like, oh, that was a portal, and anyway.
And there's that sense, like, why do we have to travel? Like, why not on our doorstep?
And I think that's what our guides were saying. It's like, you don't need to go that far, guys.
No.
Some people don't have the time to go to Wales or Egypt or, and look what's on your door. We had no idea. How long have you been visiting that space? And you had no idea. We don't. And I think this is why we wanted to talk about it on our podcast, was because we want other people to know that there are these portals, nodes, whatever we want to call the convergences of ley lines, portals to connect with the grids of the earth, the energetic grids of the earth. So if there is a place, let's put a call out to you guys, if there's a place that you're being drawn to, could there be a deeper reason why you're being drawn there? Because Emily's been grid working every time she's been going there, and she didn't realise it. She did, but she didn't know there was a portal there. No. So
I did know I wanted to go into the middle of that big space.
Wow.
I knew I always wanted to go in the middle of that.
There you go. But you didn't know
path
why.
Had never opened up and shown it to
until
me as
that day
as it did.
It was meant to be that day. Yeah. So is there anywhere for you that you're being drawn to that you could maybe, rather than just go there as a place that you think is just somewhere that feels good to you, can you explore that on a deeper level with a grid working hat on and think, ooh, is there actual energy work that I need to be doing here? Speak to the land. Is there something it needs from you? Is Mama Gaia, connect to Mama Gaia. Is there anything that's needed? Show me the path, show me the way, and follow the path. It's the best time you'll ever have. Such an adventure. And you know what? I think people that are meant to do this work do have that adventurous spirit. They do want to go off the beaten track. I was shown that many times. It's like, it's for you because you want to go that little path that's off to the right, and you just think, I really want to go down there. That's
open it up. Why is it hidden?
That's there for a reason. Yeah. It's showing you something. Follow the paths off the beaten track. Yeah. See where they lead.
So on the 8th of June, when we go to Chobham, what type of people do you think would enjoy this sort of experience?
Well, our beautiful groups that have been to Avebury, I mean, they love all of this. You guys are just our soul fam. We love you so much. So all you guys will adore it, and I'm sure many of you will be there if you can make it, so anybody who is on the spiritual path, so really anyone watching this, who can get to this location, you will love it, because you are in, and actually I was talking to a client of mine yesterday about this. When you come to your spiritual mentor or somebody who you know is on a particular frequency, when you're in their presence and in a group of people that are all in that shared frequency, you have these dreamy, blissful experiences. Oh, yeah. You really do. And you only have to come to realize that. That's why everybody is coming back again and again, right? Because they're like, we want to be in that frequency again, because you are able to be in that frequency. You're on the spiritual path and you want to be able to maintain your frequency. And coming along, you're going to receive activations, you're going to receive guidance and wisdom. So it's just a great space and energy to connect with, isn't it? So anyone who likes to connect to the high vibrational energies and likes to be able to maintain their frequency. We were talking about that in our other episode, which is Emily saying, we've got that on the planet. We've got the polarity, haven't we? We've got the lower vibrational frequencies. Us as light workers are always trying to work on integrating the shadows and then, being in the higher vibrational energies. So anything that we can do where we're hanging around with other light workers and being in the presence of other people that are working on their energy and maintaining the high vibrational frequency lifts you. It clears. We will be doing healing work. We'll be doing activations. All of that will be happening wrapped up in a beautiful woodland frolicking experience.
Yeah, the background.
We'll just be having fun, really.
And we found ways to play with Gridwork.
This is what I mean. It's going to be play.
Some nice artwork as well, which you don't need to be artistic to do.
Not at all.
I think it's really calling in people that just love being in nature, but want to experience nature in a new way. And all of this sounds kind of intriguing, and knows that this is a safe space to be curious and has an open heart. So what is one thing you would love someone who's never done grid work to know, something that would reassure or inspire them to try it?
I think, just probably repeating myself here, but that it will change your frequency for the better. You know, you will walk away feeling better than when you came, and not just
so they'll be in a better mood. If we didn't want to use frequency,
if we don't want to, you'll feel better.
You feel better.
You'll feel so much. You'll feel like really. I kind of think you would feel probably similar to how you would feel if you'd gone to a sound bath or you went to a retreat, something like that. You know, you're feeling calmer, more in the love frequency, happy, aligned. Almost as if you've had like a Reiki treatment or something like that, or a sound bath. I would say
or
that
come
frequency.
off of a holiday.
Yeah, come back from a retreat, a holiday, a break.
That's where it gets really interesting, because again, here we are playing with time, because you'll be surprised at how relaxed and how many layers of that hard onion peel that we put on to keep us going will start to come off. And with that, a lot of head fog and will clear. And your mood will just be lighter, and you'll just have an ease around you. And I think you'll be surprised at what you perceive as such a simple activity, perhaps as walking and meeting new people and being in nature and doing some different things, can be so profound so quickly without being abrasive, and being really gentle and holding you.
Yeah, or being any kind of level of work.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to really...
Maybe we did want to call it grid play, didn't we?
Yeah.
But there is work in the sense that it's dedication. So we don't want to take that away from it, and just that loving of the earth and each other.
So rather than work, it's more devotion to the path, isn't it? More devotion to continuing the maintenance of the frequency, I would say. I think that's what a lot of people talk to me about. A lot of clients are like, I just want to maintain that frequency, you know. I love it when I'm feeling in flow. I love it. But sometimes the contrast can be really hard, can't it?
And it's there for a reason. It's still mirroring what we've come here to learn and let go of and move through. And dissolve, maybe for us individually, but I guess also for the collective as well. Yeah. So any kind of soothers we can get along the way by doing this kind of work, I think is a beautiful benefit. And in that way, you'll see how it changes your life, changes your relationship with your past lives, if we were going to go into it deep. But I'm just aware that we might be going on. This episode might have gone on for a little while.
But I think we do. It's almost, you know, like when we came away from our experience, it takes you a while to integrate what actually happened, doesn't it? What work you have done. It's all been great and you feel amazing. And then, so not only have you had a beautiful experience, but it's changed you. So it hasn't just changed you temporarily. It's changed you forever in a positive way. And that's incredible. And you don't get that from just walking out in nature by yourself. Like, it's beautiful, but you don't get the big shifts. That's what I would say. And I think that's what we're here to bring, is the big shifts for collectively bringing you guys together. Because when you work in service to the planet, you receive so much healing yourself. And that is grid work.
Hence the Pleiadian coming forward and giving me that activation and clearing of my third eye. I mean, is just perfect example. It's like that give and take, isn't it? Like, oh, Emily and Lucy are giving again. Let them be able to receive.
It's unreal.
And that kind of sparked the very beginning of a shift I'm now in, which is all about receiving for me. So again, it just aligned, you know, perfectly for what the shifts energetically that are taking place in my life, that, you know, they can be so subtle but so profound. So it's beautiful.
And I do think, you know, the more people can devote themselves to supporting the collective, which is why this is called the Conscious Collective, supporting the collective mission to raise the consciousness of the planet, what you receive is just stuff that you could never, ever, ever imagine it. And I just want to give a small example, if that's okay, if we've got time. So it's probably a long episode, but I do want to give this. I was doing another Akashic record healing last night for a lovely, lovely soul sister. And I just, it was so beautiful and so amazing. So much came through for her. And at the end, I was talking to the Lords of the Akasha, and they presented me with a scroll. It's going to make me emotional. They presented me with a scroll. I was like opening the scroll thinking, what's the scroll? What's the scroll? And they were like, this is for you. And I was like, okay. And they were like, what is on your heart? What do you want to know? Like the answer to. And I just went, you know, I was in service to this client. So I was like, I wasn't thinking about myself.
It is so strange when that comes through and you're getting advice. You're like, but I'm doing something for someone else right now. And they're like, no, but you can receive too.
Well, it doesn't happen for me. It really doesn't. No, never, never. And so I'm always got my hat on them. And so but I was finishing off the session. And I was like, and they said, this is for you. And I was like, no. And I couldn't think of a question to get the answer from them. They were like, what's on your heart? And I just really couldn't find it. I was in such a good vibration. I was like, I haven't got anything. I know everything's going to be great. I'm fine. I'm really good. And then they presented this answer, this sort of nugget, and I didn't even know I was worried about it. Aww. But they bought it out of me. And they went, there's an answer to something that you're worried about. And I went, I didn't even realize I was worrying about that, but that's my truth. Like, literally, they pulled it out of me and presented it as this is all going to be okay. And I was like, I didn't even know that I was subconsciously worried about that.
It was tethering you.
And I didn't even know. And like, they released me from that. And it was, I just was obviously crying. But I just wanted to give that as an example of when you're in service and, you know, you go to these energy activations, just wanting to help, what you receive is beyond your dreams. It really, really is beyond anything you could wish for. So yeah, just encouraging people to step onto that path of service, because it will take you down a beautiful path. Mm-hmm. It really will.
And also, part of this is so that you guys will meet each other. We can see how this is all going to play out. And
definitely,
like Lucy and I have met at through Gridwork.
We did.
There's so many soul besties and comrades that are just waiting to connect with you, and they're waiting for you to connect with them. These beautiful friendships that are just going to bloom and unfold in the most graceful way, that are just a relief.
And it's like meeting people on your vibration, on your level, and you can talk to them about all the stuff.
And then you can go off and do your own adventures. And it just, there's no big production around it. It's just something that's very attainable. And
so many of our little tribe do meet up.
They do.
And I hear about it, and it's
stories
so
as well.
Lovely.
It is.
And they go to different things together, and they learn from each other, and it's just really special. So you're guaranteed to meet amazing people at our events, amazing people that you will just connect with on your frequency, because that's the frequency we're holding for everyone. That's how it all works. It's amazing. Yay. Yeah. So that's Chobham Common. Chobham. Oh my gosh, I knew I'd say it wrong. Why did I say it at the beginning? Chobham.
At 10:30
on the 8th.
On 8th. Sunday, the 8th of June. And you can
look forward to seeing you.
Ticket below. And just a reminder, the money that we are raising through the Conscious Collective, through our events, is going back into a pot. so that we can do this podcast, so that we can build a website, so that we can build a community for you. This is all of us working together. So please be generous. Buy one for your friend if that feels aligned, and come join us. And we really look forward to seeing you there.
And we've kept our rates really reasonable. We've kept it really low for a reason, to make it like a quick yes. Like it should be a no-brainer price for the sessions that we do, because there's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of preparation. Now that we've decided to do it, we're like, okay, we need to get everything together. It takes a lot of time.
Tens of hours that goes on behind all this stuff. As you solopreneurs know, and energy workers know, we're still not quite compensated equitably for this. But that's okay.
But we're keeping it low so that it's a no-brainer. It should be no-brainer price for you guys. And I know it is for the ones that have come along. They're like, this is value.
Because they know you.
Yeah.
Oh, so we look forward to seeing you there. It's going to be fantastic. And with so much love, we close this episode. Until next time, joyful blessings, sweet souls. We love you.
See you soon.
Thanks for joining us today. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you want to work with us directly, see the show notes below. Thank you.